Hey guys, Sean here. Today's video we are going to be showing you all of our pets and giving you a care guide for them. So first we're going to start off with the leopard gecko, then we're going to move to Clover the iguana, and then Rocky the bearded dragon. So let's go. Okay guys, so right here we have Koa. I need to clean the glass. But he's right in there. You can see his tail. It's really fat. He's been eating a lot. But I just re-scaped his whole tank. We got this cool slate cave for him, and he decided that's his new pooping corner right there. So yeah, and we did a whole slate bottom because it's basically a replica of his natural environment. So we have a bunch of rocks, obviously, because they live in a rocky grassland. So I tried copying off that as much as I could to make it as realistic as possible. He has this little thing over there that he can climb up to get to the top of his rock. His water bowl. Eventually, we're going to have the entire tank in this stuff. We're slowly buying it, but buying the fake stuff like this is expensive. But we're gonna get like rocks like that, but they look like this, and then some like this color, make the cave out of that, and then do a grass floor. But yeah, but basically, to take care of a leopard gecko, as they're a baby, you can put them in a 10-gallon. I would not recommend putting 2 leopard geckos in the same tank, because you don't know how they're going to act with each other. And if you were, raise them both together as babies in a 20-gallon tank, so when they're older they can like have enough room. But either way, when they come to the adult stage in their life, make sure they have a 20-gallon tank so they have as much room as possible. Make sure you mock their natural environment. We feed them mealworms, sometimes dried mealworms, only because sometimes they sell out of regular mealworms. But usually it's just regular mealworms, not dried up. And then crickets. Koa really likes his crickets. So yeah, make sure their water bowl's always full. Do not put it underneath the light. We want to keep their humidity below 40 at all times. Keep their temperature like 70 above. Like at night, it's okay for it to be a 70, but during the day, 80 to 95 degrees would be good. Like right now we have it at 90 degrees, which is perfect for him, especially in the winter. If you live in southern states, you don't necessarily need a light, you just need heat pads. But we live in Indiana, so it gets cold during the winter, so we keep lights on them at all times so we can keep their heat how they like them. So that's about all you need for leopard geckos. Make sure their tail's fat. If it gets skinny, that's not good. They just like to store their fat in their tail in case they get hungry. They can just they still have that extra food right there. But his stomach's fat and his tail's fat, so he is good and healthy. But yeah, just watch it. Make sure that their tail doesn't get skinny. And that's about all you need to know about a leopard gecko. Make sure they have 2 hides, a cold side of the tank and a warm side of the tank, and you should be good to go. And if you put a 3rd hide in there, it needs to be a moist hide for when they shed, so it just helps them shed. It helps their skin peel off easier, so just keep it. If you want to add a 3rd hide, make sure it's moist, so you'd have a warm hide in case they're cold, a cold hide if they're too hot, and then a 3rd hide it's not necessary, but if you do it, just make sure that it's moist. And try not to move around their tank too much. And if you do get new products, it's okay, but make sure you leave it like that for a while. So they don't get stressed out, because they get used to their environment and get attached to their objects. I had to take out this old cave that he liked a lot, because I had to rescape it. He was attached to it, but yeah, you don't, just make sure you're not taking out and adding new things every week or every month, because they get attached easily. So that's it for Koa the leopard gecko. Now let's move on to Clover the iguana. Okay, so right here we have our iguana, Clover. She has gotten really, really big. If you go to Dold Family Reptiles, which is no longer posting anymore, it's my old channel, the first video on there, it shows us when we first bought these. So yeah. So Clover looks very mean, but she's very nice. And don't mind these. These are from the salt that comes out of her when she sneezes. They just have to release their salt out of their system. So that's what all that white stuff is. But for Clover, we have a 100-gallon tank, which is plenty of room for her. That's her when with her tail, she about takes up half of the tank, like lengthwise. But it's 4 foot long. The tank is 4 foot and something inches, and then about 2 feet that way. And then we have this rope for her so she can climb on. She likes this when she likes being underneath the heat. Up there, when she wants to spread out her whole body. But give them lots of stuff to lay on so their full body can lay, not just like some little rock like that where their whole body won't be able to lay on. And we're getting ready to move. We're getting her a huge cage that she'll be able to stay in for the rest, like when she gets full grown and everything. And then obviously when I grow up, since they live 40 years, which they can live 40 years, then I'll take over their responsibilities and go to Florida and raise her for the rest of her life there. But on the bottom of the tank, I have this, like, it's like chopped up wood, like kind of like mulch, and it's like perfectly safe for them. It says green iguanas and everything. It's recommended for them. She'll lay on it sometimes, and then, I'm sorry that's a mess, she just runs through the whole tank. But yeah. And I got a lot of rocks in here. What? For one, to hold down this thing. But just to give her some extra stuff to climb on. Make sure they have a big water bowl in case they want to cool down or something. They'll take a bath themselves. She doesn't usually use her water bowl, but when she does, she likes it. Then we have this food bowl. Her main diet is spring mix, and usually we add in, during the summer, watermelon. We have she eats strawberries, watermelon, spring mix, cucumbers, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, you name it, she eats it. But she's never liked crickets. We tried feeding them, like, when iguanas are little, they might eat crickets. She just never ate crickets. She's definitely a vegetarian, but that's usually how iguanas are. So just give them veggies and fruits. there's no need to buy them any crickets, mealworms, or anything. They're not going to eat it. You might get lucky and have an iguana that eats them while they're young, but when they get older, they're not going to eat it. You can cut up your stuff, your fruits, and I'd recommend that you cut up your fruits because they can't chew that well. But for stuff like spring mix, spinach, and that kind of stuff, yeah, you don't need to cut it up really, especially Clover. She loves eating her stuff whole. She doesn't really like it cut up, but it's easier for them to eat cut up, but she just doesn't like it that way. You want to mock their natural environment. Soon, when we move, we're going to redo the tank, but yeah. Make sure you're putting new mulch or new bedding in, like, regularly, because it does get dirty, especially with iguanas. Make sure you're holding the iguanas every day. 30 minutes to an hour every day. Just so they get used to you. And when they grow up, they won't be tail whipping, biting, scratching. Yeah, just make sure that they know who you are and get used to you. And that's pretty good. Make sure they have stuff to climb on if they like to climb. Watch for their behaviors and see what they like. But if they become really aggressive, then make sure you hold them more than an hour. Make sure you're holding them as much as you can. Don't buy them as adults unless you're like really you have a lot of experience with iguanas. But as babies, they can get to know you a lot better.
I'm joking. Do it.
Another thing you need to know is
I don't have it on charge.
Oh, it's not coming out. Hold on.
I am.
Crap. I can't think right now.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Oh, they are very fast. So do not let them get out of when you're holding them, do not let them run away because they will run. With Clover, when we first got her, as soon as you got her out of the cage, she was anxious and scared, so she just pooped. She would splatter poop all over you. So that took about a month to get over, 2 weeks to a month to get over with. When we went on vacation for a week, when we got back, she stopped pooping all over the place when you held her, so she doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, that's about all you need to know. If their nails get too long, take them to like Petco or somewhere and get their nails clipped, because they do get sharp, but you will get used to them. That's about all you need to know for an iguana. But Clover is very nice. She doesn't get scared, so... Oh yeah, this is a must know. When you're going into the cage to grab them, like we have a lid where you have to lift up to get inside. The doors don't make them as scared. Like when she was like littler, we had cage with doors on it, but it was too little for her. But yeah, oh, she's moving. But yeah, make sure you slowly put your hand in like really slow, and then start to pet her before you pick her up, or else she'll get scared and run to the other half of the cage. So yeah, make sure you're going slow with her because they hate fast movements. That's all you need to know for a green iguana. So let's move on to Rocky the bearded dragon. Okay guys, right here we have Rocky. If you go watch our first video, you will be able to tell how much he's grew in like 4 months. It's crazy. Let's see. We're definitely redoing her cage soon because it's a mess. But what you need for a bearded dragon, give them a bunch of stuff to climb on and lay on. Put some vines underneath the heat mat, well, heat lamp, because they like being close to their heat, so they can stay warm. He likes staring a lot. Over here we have a cave and a bunch of rocks. We're gonna change all this. The mat, yeah. He just tears everything up. But bearded dragons are easily get used to you. We got a heat rock over there that they lay on. A water bowl. It doesn't have to be a big water bowl. You need to feed them crickets, mealworms. You can feed them dubia roaches, but we don't do that because, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had a job.
Make sure they have a bunch of stuff to climb up. Look how much she's pooped. Jeez, Rocky. Okay. But she could eat 50 crickets at a time if she wanted to. That's why she grows so fast. She eats a lot, but I keep saying she, it's a he.
I can do this one.
Make sure they feel like they're,
Hold on, I'm doing my task.
I don't know what to call it, but make sure you have like a background on the tank, because they don't like when it's like clear and they can see through it. They would want to go out. So put a background on the tank. You can use wrapping paper or whatever you want, but make sure you have a background on the tank. They live in the desert, like in Australia, so rocks, sand mats. Don't do sand though. That's another thing I didn't mention with leopard geckos. Don't do sand. It will just get their stomach all clogged up, and it could lead to them dying. Because they can't digest it if they swallow it. Even the reptile safe ones, that's just a lie. It'll get them diabolic bone disease. Get them out. They don't need to be held all the time, but yeah, they're very smart animals, very curious. When they're babies, you can put them in a 20-gallon, but I would get, from experience with them, get them a 40-gallon. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, look at that.
Tell me I'm possible.
There we go. She's eating.
Tell me I'm possible.
We barely ever catch her eating.
You have no evidence.
She doesn't like being watched while she eats. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, when they're like really tiny babies, you can have them in a 20-gallon. But just know they grow really fast, and you're gonna have to upgrade their tank soon. So put them in a 40-gallon. Like I showed you, Clover's tank. That's the size that they're going to need, 75-gallon to 100-gallon when they are full grown, because they like to explore. Make sure they have good heating. We have 150 watt. It keeps the cage warm. The temperature is 85 in here right now. We're getting ready to upgrade our heating system, like one of those like really long ones that goes across the entire like top of the tank. That's like a line, and make sure that they stay healthy. My dad could obviously tell you way more about the bearded dragon than I could, because this is his lizard, his and my brother's, and then the iguana and the leopard gecko is mine. But their temperature, maybe during the summer, it's at least 100, 105, but I'd keep it at 80 to 100. Don't let it go below 75, I don't think. Humidity can stay low below 40 again. And for the iguana, his humidity can be high, like 60 and 70. That's about all you need to know about a bearded dragon. Oh, as soon as I said bearded dragon, she looked. Rocky. He is the calmest thing ever. This is definitely our nicest lizard. Koa's really nice. They just like people a lot. But yeah, iguanas, 70 degrees. No, not, I said 70 degrees. Their humidity can be 70 degrees. They like high humidity. And I'll tell you the price range of all the animals.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the bearded dragon. Bearded dragon are about $80 a piece. I have like babies that are like this tiny. You get what you pay for. I'll say that. But their tank usually 100. If you go to Petco right now, their tanks are 50% off. So I'd go get a 40 gallon for $50 right now. And these ropes, $15 to $20 a piece. We have two. The mats are usually $20. And $30 for a 40 gallon mat, which we're gonna get that, but you can get a 20 gallon or 40 gallon starter kit for $200 to $300. Backgrounds, $20 usually. I paid $15 for this one, and I originally bought it for Koa. And yeah, that's their price range. Crickets cost, I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask my dad real quick. Dad! He can't hear me, but here, let me check real quick. Crickets usually cost like $10 for 5 dozen. Maybe more. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna ask my dad, but that's about all you need to know for the price range of this. They need clean. The tank needs cleaned often because they poop a lot. But yeah. The price range for he has his dewlap out because I have the camera in his face. Yeah, see. Well, the price range for them, they're about $40 since they were #1 pets in the pet trade. They were like really high in the pet trade, and then everyone released them, so they became less and less value. When they were popular, they costed a lot more. That's why there's so many of them in Florida right now, because they were popular animals, so everyone bought them, and then once they got big, they released them all, which is not okay. We're not going to do this with Clover. So cute. But right now, $35 to $40. This spring mix costs usually $6. And when you're buying fruits, usually $3 every time you get fruits. And it lasts us about a week. And then this, get rid of it before the due date. Do not feed them expired stuff that gets real wet. Make sure it stays dry. So make sure you're like getting new spring mix every 1 to 2 weeks. And they love it. They'll eat a lot. And be aware of what you're buying when you're buying them. Again, ropes, $15, $20. The bag of substrate for 100 gallon is probably $25 is what we paid for this. There's 1.5 bags in there right now. It's probably like $15 for the small bag. $10 extra if you want to get the big one. And their water bowl, $20. And you don't want to give them like water that coming from a faucet. It's not good for their health. So make sure you give them like spring water like that humans would drink out of the bottles. We give them Ice Mountain. So yeah. Their tanks, $100 for this tank when it's on sale. We got this tank for free, but yeah. On sale, it's $100 at Petco. Like at Petco right now, 75 gallon, $100. I ended up, so if you want the essentials for him, $100 for the tank, $40 for him, so you'll be paying about $250 after you buy everything, just for all the necessities for when you first buy them. Make sure you have thermometers to keep their temperature. Oh, light fixtures. $60 for the thing the light bulb goes in, and then about $20 to $40 depending on what light actual bulb you get. Yeah. Let's go back to Co and tell you the price range of him. Here's Penny. He's a German Shepherd. Hi Penny. I love you. Yeah, this is our other dog. All they need is a home. You just gotta pay for the home, dog food, and yeah, that's about it. Get them a chip if you can. They're very protective animals, and they love people so much. Okay, we're back to Koa. Koa cost about $40, and we get all of our slate for free because my dad owns a concrete business, so he can get slate when he tears out porches and stuff, and does whole concrete like basements or anything. He'll get slate easily. Rocks, make sure you wash them all off. But 20-gallon tank, $20 usually. This is our bearded dragon's old tank, and we just wanted to use it for him because he was time for an upgrade. Water bowl, like $6. This was $17. So they're not too bad. They're crickets, all cost the same. It cost me $214 for all the necessities when I first bought Koa and his tank and all of the food and everything. That's all it cost me. So you can get them. Bearded Dragon you can get for about $210, $214. Actually, no. About $300. I forgot to add the $80 for the actual Bearded Dragon. So $300 for the actual, for everything you need for a Bearded Dragon. $214 for everything you need for a Leopard Gecko. And then Iguana is probably $300 too for everything. Maybe $250. But yeah.